If you're thinking about selling final expense life insurance, or if you're already selling final expense life insurance and just are plain unhappy with the agency that you're a part of, you're going to want to listen to this video. The purpose of this video is to give you my 5 top tips to helping you find the best final expense agency. It is imperative that you do your due diligence in finding the best final expense agency available, because the wrong pick will result in a very bad opportunity with the potential for lost time and income and overall general frustration. My name is David DeFord, owner of DeFord Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents nationally to sell things like final expense, Medicare, and annuities, both face-to-face and over the phone. And the purpose of this video is to give you my 5 top tips on what you need to look for to find the perfect final expense agency. So let's go ahead and jump right in. First on the list is to decide if you want to recruit or decide if you want to sell. Here's the bottom line, guys. MLM, pyramid type, organizations persist all over the place in the final expense sales world. If you haven't felt that kind of like pit feeling in your stomach that you're a part of an MLM and these kind of like opportunity meetings where they flash their cars and their Rolexes, well, you will soon if you're in due diligence mode, because a lot of these organizations want you to focus on recruiting as equivalently important, if not more so important, than the act of becoming a top producing sales final expense agent. So I think that it's important that you decide for yourself right now, do you want to be a recruiter or do you want to sell insurance, final expense insurance successfully? Because if you decide that selling final expense is the most important aspect to your career, then you need to sidestep the recruiting game for now. And if you join an organization that focuses on recruiting heavily, but you want to sell final expense and focus on sales over recruiting, there's a misalignment that's going to bring and rear its ugly head up many, many times, and you're going to find it's not a good fit. So decide what you want to do. I hope you want to sell final expense. I don't think anybody should be recruiting final expense agents till they've got street cred and they actually know what they're doing based off of experience and not, reading a book or watching videos. Recruiting comes with time and results, not because you just want to. It's a great way to fail really quickly. So make sure, though, your organization reflects that value. Because if you're all in on the selling side, but they're all in on a recruiting side, it ain't a good deal. Number 2, make sure your commission potential is maximized. So this is another issue that if you don't do your due diligence, you're going to run into problems. There are a lot of organizations, even in 2021 when I'm filming this, that recruit agents at literally 30, 50, 60, even 70% commission levels, which is ridiculously low. And the only way you can get higher after maybe a 10 or 20 point increase is to start recruiting your friends and family and anybody with a pulse. And if you're selling insurance and that's your focus, you're going to find that it's not a really important concept. So what happens is, again, if you get involved with an organization that doesn't really care about maximizing your commission because they're too, neck deep in the MLM culture, then you're going to have an upside commission level that's really low that you cannot climb out of unless you get a release and move to another organization or you start recruiting within that organization. You should be doing your due diligence on who is offering fair and competitive commissions. Sometimes that means the highest commissions you can. Sometimes it doesn't. It depends on what else you need, like training and support and that kind of thing. But most of the time, you shouldn't be accepting a low commission level. There's nothing inherently unique that these MLM organizations that are going to provide you if your actual goal as an agent is to sell insurance. And it's even questionable even if they can provide that for you if you're in the recruiting side. So don't get stuck in an organization that pigeonholes you into low commissions. It's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars a year if you're a decent agent. And you're going to find that the exchange of value just isn't really worth it. Number 3, have an affinity towards your manager, your direct upline, and the agency that you're part of. So when I say affinity, what I mean by that is you should kind of like share kind of a connection with the organization or upline that you're being a part of. People who do business in my agency, I think, have some kind of affinity to my story, my background. They appreciate who I am as a person and the values that I stand for, and they connect well with them because I make it clear to them that they should connect to it if they want to join. Likewise, if you're looking at another organization and there's some things you like, but there's other things you don't, you're going to have to make a real good decision on if having this kind of like half-pregnant affinity towards it is really worth it. It's likely if you take your time and do your due diligence, you're going to find an organization that actually is a good fit. And I think that extra time to do that is right, because if you don't have that affinity, especially in this case with your direct upline, if they don't sound like they care about you, if you don't feel like you get along with them well, it's going to cause problems. Your direct upline especially is your most important connection into this business, and it's imperative to find a net upline that actually you get along with really well, because it's going to make a huge difference in the outcome of your success in insurance sales. Number 4, you might have to decide if you're going to want to do free lead programs versus a paid lead program. I kind of liken this to taking a job selling insurance or selling final expense versus running your own final expense business. You either are going to work for an organization that provides you leads for free at a lower commission, or you're going to have to take on the burden, and it's not really a burden if you have the right mindset, but the responsibility of investing in your own leads and running your own business. Not everybody is going to be suited to buying their own leads. It takes a special person with responsibility, with focus and discipline to continually buy and invest in leads when there may be other things in their life that they may be tempted to buy instead. So if you're going to be involved on the business side of this, where you invest in your own leads, you got to have a higher level of self-efficiency, self-motivation, and self-discipline in order to be successful. But if you don't feel like you have that, or you feel like it's too much of a risk, there's no shame in working for an organization selling final expense where your leads are provided for free. So give this some thought. Where do you fit on the scale? And go to the organization that's going to do you the best job. Number 5, make sure that your final expense agency offers long-term growth potential. So you may start this business off and just want to sell insurance, but maybe in the back of your mind, you might be interested in selling Medicare, cross-selling for a more passive-based income stream. Or maybe you do want to build an agency, but you don't want to get stuck in an organization with lower commissions. So this is why a lot of agents join my agency, because it's not just about final expense and mastering that particular product line. I invite agents to explore other product opportunities to build out their income streams. For example, building a Medicare book of business as they start into their intermediate phase of selling final expense, or possibly even me helping them build their own organization and leveraging my experience and wisdom and doing what they want to do in agency building. Either way, you want to have long-term growth potential, because many of you will grow in your understanding and your perspective, and having an organization that allows you to grow to the extent possible that you can provide is the best outcome that is going to be in your best favor. So bottom line, my 5 top tips in order to find the best final expense agency. Number 1, make sure you decide on whether you want to be a recruiter or a salesperson and join the agency that best fits that desire of yours. Number 2, make sure your commission levels are maximized to the highest extent possible. Number 3, make sure you have an affinity and a connection to your upline and agency. Number 4, make sure you decide whether you want to have free leads or paid leads well in advance of which organization you join. And then numbers 5, make sure that you have long-term growth potential so that if you have interest beyond final expense, your agency can facilitate that process of your growth. My name is David DeFord. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about joining my final expense agency, I've got links above and below. Just click those for more information. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video if you like this content. I do daily content. And make sure you leave a comment below if you have a question. Happy to answer at any time. Y'all take care. Thanks for your time. See ya.